Spider-Man Remastered, playing on the PlayStation 5. And this game was created by Insomniac in collaboration with Marvel and Sony. And for me, this version of Spider-Man is the best video game Spider-Man ever made. Now I know there are some other good things like Shattered Dimensions, Web of Shadows, which is everyone's favorite, uh, and for people of you who for people who didn't know, I actually liked Spider-Man Friend of Foe. I was a little kid when I played it, so it might not hold up right now, but it was a pretty good game. And I'll tell you why. Because this game is not just about it's not just a Spider-Man story. This is a Peter Parker story. And you see all the different turmoil he has to face. If Peter Parker wins, Spider-Man loses. Spider-Man wins, Peter Parker loses. And the best example is the Feast. Feast is actually a place where his Aunt May works. It's run by Martin Lee, but Martin Lee is also Mr. Negative. So the one who's making Peter's Peter's aunt's life better is the one who's making Spider-Man's life worse. But in the end, as always, he puts Spider-Man ahead because that will save more people's lives, and he takes it down. So unfortunately, Feast was left in a bad position. I mean, it still exists, but it's not in a place as it was when Martin Lee was ahead. And the same goes to Doc Ock. Doc Ock was his mentor, his the one he idolized the most. But Doctor, Doctor Octavius was the one he idolized the most. But Doc Ock is the one he has to face and he has to defeat. So I think that's a good Peter Parker story, and you get a lot of scenes of him being Peter. There's a lot of emotional baggage. There's his history with MJ and all these things. And also, let's discuss Spider-Man now. Because Peter Parker is only half the story. The rest is Spider-Man. And first, this suit they've created is completely iconic. It doesn't look like any other suit. It's completely his suit. This this is this suit will always be remembered as Insomniac's suit. This Peter Parker version's own suit. And second of all, the reason this is the best Spider-Man ever, because if you read the comics before, Spider-Man is supposed to be a crafty guy. He's supposed to be smart. He's supposed to, use gadgets to help him in his fight against evil. And look what we have here. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different gadgets and tons of suit powers. And I think this shows his crafty side. Peter is not like Miles Morales. He doesn't have superpowers. I mean, he does have superpowers, but he doesn't have electrical based power. It's just his physical strength is enhanced, and he can stick to walls. He doesn't have energy blasts or all those kinds of things. So he creates gadgets to compensate for that. This is the basic web shooter. This is the concussive blast. This is the impact web. And it's so many cool things that I feel was just discarded for spider arms. Now don't get me wrong, spider arms are kind of cool, but I used venom powers anyway because I don't know, because it doesn't make sense. Where does a spider arm even comes out of? Like in this game, if you see the making of it, you can see. Let me show you. If you see the making of this game, they tell you how the suit was created. I mean, the blue layer is supposed to be the most elastic one. The red layer, which you can see is a bit more thicker, it feels like it's layered on top of it. It's much more denser material, which gives him a little bit more protection where he swings the most, where he defends the most, and even thigh pads. He might get scraped while swinging. Why not? And the white one is carbon fiber. That's where he has most protection is. His punches, his knuckles, his a little bit on the feet. And he also has 3D printers in his web shooters. That's how he creates those gadgets. So this is the kind of explanation I like. I know it's a comic book movie. Sorry, it's a comic book video game. But there's an in-game explanation. So where does the spider arm even comes from? Like where does it come from? There's nothing here. It's not nanotech. There's nothing here. I know this is Spider-Man 1 and that's Spider-Man 2 suit, but come on, it doesn't make sense. I feel like just discarding all the, what do you call it, gadgets kind of diminishes Peter's potential, because being smart is a big part of being Spider-Man. Because remember, he's just a kid. At least, okay, now he's an adult. He's like, I think Peter gets his powers when he was 16. This is 8 years later, so he's like 24-ish, 25? 24, but let's say 25, because it sounds nice. So he's still a young man. He's fighting all of these super, like, undoubtedly, many of the other villains in the story have much more cooler powers than Peter Parker. You have to agree on that. Sandman, Electro, Green Goblin has a glider, he has his web shooters. So that's why, and the emotional turmoil is he faces in this game is kind of saddening, but also, unfortunately, it's entertaining for us. For as a gamer and as a viewer of these contents, it is entertaining. And this version of Spider-Man, his story, at least in Marvel Spider-Man 1, is more complete, is more feature packed. There are no loose ends. Like, he has a perfect beginning to the story, where we see him, where we see his past, like all of his past villains. He has to choose between his room rent and his duty as Spider-Man. That is the beginning. And the ending is Miles Morales getting his powers. So he's kind of becoming a mentor of his own. A perfect start and a perfect ending. And I don't think Marvel Spider-Man 2 deliver. I don't hate Marvel Spider-Man 2, but this would always be the definitive Spider-Man game for me, because it captures the feel of Peter Parker and Spider-Man so well. He's awkward, he's clumsy as Peter Parker, he's really stylish as Spider-Man. So these are my reasons. I think this is why the best Spider-Man game, best Spider-Man version for me. Thank you for watching.